one sentence or phrase? Okay. It's winter time.
There's lots of ice.
And all the children are feeling a little bit chilly.
Everyone's excited for the holiday.
Everyone's icicles.
They are chilly.
Al Roker had to wear a jacket for his weather forecast.
A storm came and struck somebody with lightning.
But instead of lightning, they got hit by a hockey stick.
Ooh. I could have said Cameron.
People started to hibernate.
Fleece was sold out in all the stores that winter.
Many people went skiing.
Some kids in kindergarten started cutting snowflakes.
The news reported that there would be a terrific avalanche if they weren't able to stop the snow.
But then it started to thaw, and there was a flood.
The flood made everything very slippery.
But then the thawing stopped and the flood formed an igloo.
It was so hard to get around, they had to use a snowmobile.
Snow is muddy.
They sat around their houses to watch Frozen.
A reindeer came crashing through the window.
That sounds promising.
Reindeer, nobody's safe in this town.
And they threw gingerbread at the reindeer.
Frost started to cover the gingerbread.
The polar ice caps melted, washing away the reindeer and the house.
And Grandma.
Yeah,
All,
she was safe.
all the reindeer were nice and cozy.
They even had enough intelligence to build a fireplace.
Where they made hot chocolate.
Pretty happy with that.
I feel like we've gotten away from the town and we're now in a spin-off story about the reindeer.
And then Grandma got by the reindeer in the Arctic Circle. Hey.
She should have been wearing
Earbuds.
earbuds.
Stay away from that circle.
Or Boots. Boots might have helped her escape too.
As with gloves.
Oh gosh.
The forecast predicted that the world would all be underwater by the next day.
Then Grandma came came riding in on Santa's sled, but she got run over by the reindeer.
She was going to
Do you not know the story, Lily?
She made it out of the ICU.
With a blizzard right behind her.
The ICU.
She was ready to do some water jumps.
Suddenly, a shovel rose up behind her head. I know.
That's everybody's. The thermometer indicated that all the ice was melting.
And that grandma's ride back home was delayed.
She's got a shovel behind her. Grandma turned around and threw salt in the eyes of the reindeer who was holding up the shovel.
But the reindeer in turn had a snowplow.
This reindeer really is Grandma.
He was sitting comfortably in his snowplow with his handmade sweater.
Bye, Grandma.
I won't have a older one.
This handmade sweater by grandma.
When all of a sudden, the snowplow was unable to plow any more snow.
All of the snow on the ground turned to slush.
The heat went out in the reindeer's snowplow, and he began to shiver.
He decided to put on his flannel pajamas. But he already has a sweater.
Over his sweater.
Just gonna pause on murdering
Always wanted to make.
It took them all winter to make that quilt.
The end.
Alright, I think you're just getting warmed up, so we'll do half.
There's this thing for
You need some new makeup.
The story deviates. This is a new story.
A new story.
We started off nice,
See?
we were in a
Like, let's
town
start
with
10.
children and people, and then
Three.
we entered the spin-off about the reindeer,
Okay.
which
Do this one
somehow
again.
turned
Step in,
into some, like,
double time.
Who's an
standoff between the reindeer.
Three pennies.
Two.
Double.
Versus reindeer.
Oh no.
Once upon a time, 3 little kids were creating a snowman, or making a snowman, and they decided to put earmuffs on the snowman, but they were stolen.
The kids were stolen.
We'll find that out in the rest of the story.
The person who had also stolen the snowman's earmuffs also stole the kids' foods, so they couldn't chase after him.
Overdo that. So they made new boots out of snowflakes.
You know, they kind of fly.
Nice craftsmanship skills.
And instead, they made an avalanche happen.
As the snow started to thaw and the avalanche started to rumble down the mountain,
The children were covered in frost by the avalanche.
And their boots had melted, and now they were slipping all over them, and it was very slippery.
They were looking for a place to get shelter, and suddenly ahead of them they saw an igloo.
But the igloo melted before they.
Poor kids can catch a break.
The igloo melted before they could get there, so they
Aren't they like running from an avalanche?
The avalanche already covered them in frost.
To get into the igloo before it melted, they hopped on their snowmobile.
Kids must be rich.
Unfortunately, it was the middle of winter, so the snowmobile was in the middle of hibernating. The best ones.
All of the snow suddenly began to melt.
I watch Frozen.
While they were watching Frozen, they began to put on their fleece sweaters because they were cold. Because the knitted sweaters didn't do that.
They were in like 3 layers.
But while one of the kids was putting on the jacket and watching Frozen, they realized the avalanche was getting closer to them. I thought it melted.
And at the top of the avalanche was a polar bear.
Oh,
Oh, it gets
Very
worse.
hungry.
he was also snowboarding.
But he had on,
Then he starts skiing down the mountain. He starts skiing down the mountain after the children.
While the polar bear was skiing down the avalanche toward the children, getting ever closer, a reindeer stepped in the way.
That's the reindeer.
And he was holding gingerbread cookies.
And the children were about to eat the cookies, but then the polar bear came closer and vanished.
The polar bear saw the gingerbread cookies, and he thought they looked so delicious that the reindeer, the polar bear, and the children sat to watch Frozen. They were so cozy.
But then the thermometer stopped working because it was too cold. And someone screamed, "We're all gonna die!"
Yeah, because of her thermometers.
And in the middle of their little thing where they're watching Frozen and all that, blizzard hits and juice is running low.
In the midst of all the panic, because of the blizzard that was ensuing, the polar bear and the reindeer suddenly became hostile, like they normally do during the winter.
But there was a delay in their reaction.
I should have bought a place.
Amidst their animosity between all of the polar bear and whoever else, they began to drink hot chocolate to mend their argument.
Then they realized somehow they had ended up in the Arctic Circle.
I just randomly appeared in there.
but fortunately, there was plenty of flannel to go around. A nice flannel.
And they had a nice quilt to keep them warm.
But the reindeer stole the polar bear's long johns, leading to an argument. It could only end one way.
They ended this argument by having a salt eating contest.
There was so much salt being put in front of them that they had to use a snowplow to get it.
When the children said, "Ready, set, go," there was so much salt in the air it looked like a storm.
But good thing they had gloves.
As the polar bear and the reindeer were having their salt eating contest, the kids began to play hockey. Let's stray away from the violence.
Just remember, be provided.
Unfortunately, an earlier weather forecast had predicted that increased amounts of salt in the air would not be good for children playing hockey.
The children were so angry they struggled for their last breath.
Raining salt.
Rachel.
We're all not.
Suddenly turned into their last.
I'm going to slide on ice.
Breaking news now, said Shepard Smith. Antarctica under attack. A salt war in the very chilly air.
But everybody got so tired of eating salt, they decided to take a holiday. Vacation.
And eat icicles.
With a shovel.
However, in case you've forgotten, the reindeer and polar bear were still trapped in the snow, eating ice, or eating salt.
Wait, I thought we cleared that up.
No, I like
Now it's
that.
done.
The sun, okay. The as the reindeer and the polar bear had their contest, this slush started forming around them.
It became so big that it started creating salt flurries.
The end.